Dutch Island is comprised of 81 acres and is located in the West Passage of Narragansett Bay, just south of the Jamestown Bridge. In 1825, the U.S. government bought 6 acres on the southern tip to establish a light station. The first tower was built using native stone and was 30 feet tall. The quality of this construction was described as the worst construction of any in the state. 32 years later, in 1857, this tower was demolished and replaced by the present 42-foot brick tower and a 4-room keeper's house. For the following 86 years, the lighthouse was manned by keepers to keep the light working every night and the foghorn blasting during poor weather. In February of 1947, the U.S. government replaced the original white light with an automated flashing red beacon. Dutch Island became Rhode Island's first automated lighthouse. In 1960, the Coast Guard decided that the keeper's home and outbuildings were beyond repair and demolished them. In 1979, the Dutch Island light was officially turned off and replaced by an offshore red bell buoy with a flashing red beacon. Over time, the lighthouse slowly deteriorated. Moss started to grow on the exterior, and the lantern room was exposed to the elements because the protective glass had been removed. Birds began nesting inside the lighthouse, and it became a bit of a health hazard to anyone who entered. Because of the exterior deterioration, the lighthouse began to blend into the background landscape, and it became difficult to clearly see it from either shore. In August 1982, an enterprising young man with a windsurfer, gallons of white paint, a paint roller, and a 6-pack of beer sailed over to the lighthouse from the URI Bay campus. Attaching the paint roller to the end of the windsurfer mast, he painted the west side of the lighthouse white again. This was the side that faced his family's summer home. Dr. Peter Randall, who lived on the Saunderstown shore, noticed the change immediately. In appreciation of this dramatic improvement, Dr. Randall proceeded to collect donations from his neighbors to pay for the paint to keep the lighthouse white. For several years following this, one side of the lighthouse would get painted by volunteers as needed. The motivation by Dr. Randall sparked the beginning of the Dutch Island Lighthouse Society. In the year 2000, the newly formed Lighthouse Society, now known as DILS, visited the lighthouse for a structural inspection. After this visit, the board determined that the lighthouse was in good enough condition to move forward with the restoration project. After 7 years of fundraising, a substantial government grant, and a lot of hard work, the restoration process started to really take shape. Abcor Restoration was hired for the work, and in 2007, they began to strip the exterior, grind down all the rusted surfaces, install a new main door, replace the lantern room windows, rebuild the interior stairs, rebuild the little oil house next door, install a new LED lantern, install solar panels on the roof, and refinish all of the surfaces. On November 21st at 7 p.m., with much fanfare, a blast from Macy Webster's famous cannon, a round of cheers from hundreds of supporters, and a push of a button by Shirley Sheldon, the light shined once again from the Dutch Island Lighthouse. Since the relighting, we have refinished the lantern room and maintained the beacon for all to see. The exterior has had some normal repair work done, and we have come to accept the annual osprey family who like to nest on top of our beloved tower. Now it's 14 years later, and we need to refinish the exterior surface once again. This work requires many hours of scraping off the current coating to get a clean surface and recoating the entire lighthouse so that it can gleam once again. The Dutch Island Lighthouse Society has maintained our goal of an endowment to fund this work as best we can, but this job is very large and very important, and we can't afford to put it off any longer. We are asking everyone who enjoys seeing the lantern light up every night at dusk, and those who love to see the gleaming white tower itself during the day, to please help us and contribute to our goal of raising $80,000 to keep our lighthouse foundation sound and our lantern light lit. We are also asking for volunteers to help us continue this ongoing effort. The DILS board would love to have some new members. As a perk, board members and friends can visit the lighthouse anytime. If you are interested or know of anyone interested in joining us, please let us know. Every little bit helps, especially passing this video on to your family and friends so that everyone can be a part of keeping our bit of history shining for all future generations to enjoy. Please click on the donation button in this video to help us achieve our goal. And please play it forward by passing this on for the next generation.